Hi, welcome back to Severn That's a Wrap. I'm Keegan Wilby, and today I'm here with
Laine McDermott.
And how old are you?
I am 18 years old.
Nice. And how long have you been at Severn?
I have been at Severn for 7 years because I came in 6th grade, but realistically I've been at Severn like my whole life because my parents went here, so I've been to homecoming every year. I go to all my cousin's sports games because they graduated. So realistically my whole life, but actually attending Severn for 7 years.
Okay. And how do you think your life has revolved around school, not including the 7 hours you're required to be here?
I think it revolves a lot around school. I have 2 siblings now at Severn. So like my sister's in the high school, she's on sports teams as well as me. So like I have practice after school, she has practice after school. I have games, she has games. So I'm always going to her games.
Here.
Yeah, I'm always here. And then for my brother, he's in 6th grade. So like he's always hanging around watching our stuff.
He's so adorable.
So I would say like a lot of my time, even after 3 p.m. is spent here.
Yeah, and then also like just extracurriculars, homework, this, that, and the other. Yeah. Okay, so who do you think your favorite teacher has been?
The teacher that I've always written on the Julian Dominic Award for like every year at school has been Mr. Salinas.
Yeah.
And I don't think necessarily that either of his Englishes were like my favorite class because they were definitely hard, and I'm not an English person by any means.
Yeah, no, I get that.
But he is like such a great teacher, and I think that he really cares about everything that he's teaching you, and he has a lot of wisdom that's not just about English, but like about life in general.
I've literally never heard like a bad thing about Mr. Salinas. Like,
he's really
always been like the one who's like hard on his class and like teaches them something, but like that's what's good. Like when you actually learn something.
Yeah, I definitely learned a lot, and I know I'm going to take all of his writing skills to college.
Yeah, no, that's what everyone says. So what clubs have you been involved in, and what made you interested in joining them?
So freshman year, I signed up for a lot of clubs, like everyone did.
Yes.
And I think Spanish club I was a big like member of because obviously extra credit and chips and salsa, but it was also just fun, the things that they did games, we watched shows, stuff like that.
I think Spanish club has to be like the most attended club out of like all of them.
Yeah, there was like people sitting on tables because there wasn't enough seats at points.
Or like in the corners on the floor or something. Yeah,
so that's definitely the one that I went to the most. And then this year I took over the Connect for Cancer Club, and that was really fun too because we had like a community service opportunity where we had students make cards for kids that are battling cancer, and that was really memorable. And just with that club, I think this year that has been great to like take a leadership role.
Yeah, for sure. It's also just like a really impactful club, which is like cool.
Yeah, and I felt like I was doing something.
Yeah, no, that's like totally beneficial for you too. I get that. Do you think it's ever too late to join something coming from a senior point of view?
Definitely not, because like I said, I only took over that club this year, and I had been a member for all 4 years, or I think it had only existed since I was a sophomore, so sophomore through senior year, but I'd only become a leader just this year, and I think that taking that leadership role still taught me a lot senior year, even though I didn't do it or I wasn't a leader in the past years.
Yeah, no, I get that. So this is like kind of hard, but what do you think your favorite memory of your high school experience has been?
I think that Spirit Week this year especially was really fun. Spirit Week is fun every year, but this year I think it was especially fun because we're seniors.
Yeah.
So like we all realized that it was our last one, and we like wanted to make the most of it. So everything went really smoothly, and like we all put in like a lot of effort. We all put in effort. We all came together to decorate, to do Sing for Your Supper and everything.
And like the food drive and everything.
Yeah, the food drive was really good.
Yeah, we did good. And our theme.
Yeah, everything was good.
It was great. So do you think there's one thing that you would have changed about your experience?
Yeah, this year they had volleyball, and some of my friends did it. And I had done soccer freshman and sophomore year, and then didn't do it junior year. And I kind of wish that I tried out for volleyball this year with my friends, because it was like they didn't really know how to play volleyball, but they all had so much fun. Yeah, and it was laid back, and it's not that long of a season, but they all had fun, and I like would help out. Yeah, and I would help out with like the book and stuff, just because I wanted to like be part of it with some of my best friends. So I do wish I had tried out for that team and like been a real part of that team. But yeah,
I get that. What do you think your greatest contribution has been to Severn?
I think my greatest contribution hasn't really been towards Severn, but towards my siblings at Severn, because I've had a bunch of cousins, a bunch of uncles, aunts, parents, even grandparents come here.
Yeah.
So I've sort of been following in their footsteps.
Yeah.
But I'm the first of my direct family to come, and now both my siblings are at Severn, and my sister's even in the high school.
And you like influence them.
Yeah, so I think just being a role model for them and like showing them that like a new school can be fun, and like how to make friends and how to make the most of your time and that sort of thing. That's been my biggest contribution. Just
definitely like making the most of their time, because it's like we're done and it went by so fast, and like you're like, guys, don't waste it. Like, I promise.
Don't
like,
take this for granted.
Don't want it to go too fast. Yeah, I get that. So, has Severn promoted a projected career path for you?
I have sort of always known that I wanted to go into medicine, but I'm still not like 100% sure what. I know that last year, since I was a junior, you take biology. Biology with Dr. Martin, it was definitely hard, but it was definitely worth it, I think, because I learned a lot of things that I had no idea about. And now, like, for my ISP, I'm shadowing a orthopedic surgeon.
Oh, that's cool.
So, like, I'm really excited for that. And I think without, like, learning super in-depth about anatomy and stuff like that, I wouldn't have taken the path that I am now. So in that way, I think it did, which I'm really excited about. So.
Okay, that's really exciting.
Yeah.
I like that. So I know you mentioned soccer, but you also play lacrosse for Severn. How do you think those communities have kind of like impacted you or changed your experience?
I think lacrosse has definitely impacted me more just because I've been a member all 4 years. My first 2 years on JV were really fun, and basically all my friends were on my team because especially freshman year, like we didn't have as many people try out, so it was basically like an all-freshman team, which was super fun and rewarding, even if we weren't the best. And then the past 2 years on varsity, where you have to be like an upperclassman to the underclassmen who are on your team, have also been rewarding because you get to learn like more leadership qualities. And this year, especially as a senior, like you take roles that you didn't have any of the other 3 years.
Like the responsibility of that.
Yeah, too. And like letting them know when they're early at is what uniform to wear, or like planning team bonding events, stuff like that. That has been really cool to be able to do, and like given me more responsibility, which I think has helped me like be a better sister and just be a better person in general, because I'm like thinking about other people and stuff.
Especially because you're like the oldest sibling too, like you kind of like already carry that responsibility, but like being on the team too kind of like enforce that.
Yeah, definitely.
So I hope you remember something from your first day at school here, but do you remember anything?
I know my most memorable memories are actually from my shadow day.
Okay.
I remember I shadowed in the fall because I'm pretty sure because I was like a legacy, you can shadow and do all that earlier.
Yeah.
So I shadowed like really early in the school year, so everyone was sort of like making friends and stuff like that. But I remember it was culture day in geography, and I went into geography and everyone had like food in their hands, and I was like so confused.
Yeah.
Because like why would everyone have like a potluck of food? And it was so fun because everyone got like a different culture. So they brought in foods from every culture, and it was super fun. And I was like, well, if this is what happens in like a normal class, then I'm definitely coming
Then
here.
You're like so down.
Yeah, so that
like
sold me. Yeah, so that was definitely what I remember most about that day.
Oh, that's cute. I like that. So me and Ainsley are big music nerds, so we have to ask what your favorite song is.
My favorite song changes like
everyone.
A lot.
Yeah, I get that.
Recently, I've been listening to a lot of Paramore. I don't know why. Like, I think I just like heard it somewhere, and like now I'm getting back into it. But I really like the song "The Only Exception" by them. That's probably my favorite one. But I've been listening to a lot of other ones too.
I like them too.
Yeah.
Don't worry, you're not alone in that. And our final question is, how do you think the community of our senior class has evolved since your first year?
I think that like none of the people in our grade now are scared to talk to anyone, I feel like, anymore. In the first at least like 2 years, maybe even the beginning of last year, I think that it was definitely still like cliquey, and not saying like in a bad way, but just like you really only talk to the people that you hung out with, like your best friends and stuff. But this year, since it's our last year and we're doing a lot of like senior activities,
Like all together.
Yeah. It's made us closer as a grade, which I think is really great. And like even outside of school, we're doing stuff that we wouldn't have done freshman year with like a bunch of people, the entire grade. So I think that that's really special, especially since we're almost done here and we have to make the most of it.
Because this is like the last time we're ever gonna like experience something like this.
Exactly.
So I think everyone's just trying to like soak it in.
Yeah. So I think that that has been really great, and especially this last year.
Yeah. And finally, any shout outs?
I guess I would shout out my family for sending me here. I mean, they were probably going to send me here whether I wanted to or not. So I don't know, but I would also shout out specifically my family, my cousins and my siblings, because like, yes, my parents went here and my aunts and uncles, but it was completely different. And I have 2 older cousins that have graduated, and then I have a cousin each that's a junior.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and then obviously my siblings. So I've had a lot of people around me, like more modern day Severn, and I think that seeing their experiences and like me showing my experiences to my cousins and my siblings, I think that has been really
it's just helped you
beneficial in my
find your
time.
place here.
So I'd shout out all of them.
Yeah.
And then obviously I'd shout out my friends. So yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being
No problem.
here.